In the world of competitive surfing, where athletes dance with the waves, one incident stands out as a testament to human resilience. Meet Mick Fanning, a world champion surfer known for pushing the boundaries of the sport and conquering some of the most challenging waves on the planet. But one fateful day, he faced a challenge beyond the waves, a life-threatening encounter with a great white shark. On July 19, 2015, three-time world surfing champion Mick Fanning might have caught his final wave. He was taking part in the World Surfily Champion Tour's J-Bay Open competition. It happened in Jeffreys Bay in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. It is a stunning area that is well known for its spectacular surf and fantastic whale-watching chances. Both tourists and residents go to the bay to enjoy marine life and water sports. He was competing in the Open final, according to Mick. He was in the water with his rival professional surfer Julian Wilson, who was also from Australia. On television, the event was being televised live. The Gold Coast of Australia was where Mick's mother was watching her son on the television. Mick, a surfer, was preparing for a competition when he was attacked by a shark. Initially unaware of the danger, Mick was scouting waves and counting seconds until the next barrel. He had been surfing since he was 3 years old and was aware of sharks' presence. Despite feeling good during the competition, Mick was torpedoed by the shark, causing him to lie face down on his board. Just 2 minutes into his final run of the contest, Mick spotted the dorsal fin, maybe a millisecond after the spectators did. But protruded from the water next to him, immediately the adrenaline started pumping, and Mick had no time to react. Within a second, the shark had become entangled in his surfboard cord as it came in for a bite. The cord tugged on Mick's ankle. He scrambled about on his board, trying desperately to hold on. He kicked with his legs and pulled with his arms. He needed to stay out of the water. Looking down on the water, Mick could see the pectoral fin just below the surface as the shark began thrashing around. He realized very quickly how bad the situation was. He suddenly panicked, thinking that this was it. His mom was home on the Gold Coast of Australia. Her heart nearly stopped when she saw the shark coming for her son. There was nothing she could do except for staring at horror as the attack unfolded. She thought he was gone. She thought she had witnessed her son's death live on international television, a sight that will continue to haunt her. She had already lost one son, John, in a car accident 17 years ago. In those terrifying seconds, she thought that the universe can't be that cruel. She can't possibly lose two sons. Then, as Mick was pulled from his board and disappeared underwater, a large wave came sweeping in. It was a huge roller. It blocked everyone's view. Nobody knew what happened to Mick. Nobody knew if they would see him again. When the wave rolled in and dissipated, what would be waiting for them on the other side? That they just witnessed arguably the best surfer of all time demolished by a great white. But behind that wave, hidden from view, Mick was fighting. He was fighting for his life. The shark had knocked him off his board and into the water. Stunned, Mick looked around, just feet from his board, to see the shark coming back for him again. In the split seconds that followed, the shark rushed past Mick in the water as it nearly brushed him. Mick punched it as hard as he could on his side, between the dorsal fin and the pectoral fin. The shark broke through the ankle cord, releasing Mick from his surfboard. At that moment, Mick made a dash for it. He couldn't ride a wave in without his board. Instead, he swam as fast as he could, desperately trying to make it to the shore and the waiting crowd. When the shark sirens were wailing across the bay, the crowd was in a frenzy, and Mick suddenly stopped. There was a heart-stopping moment when Mick realized he couldn't outswim a shark. He knew if it was coming after him, it would take him from behind. It could be chasing after him right now. He wouldn't be able to react. He wouldn't be able to see its approach. So instead of fleeing, Mick decided to turn and face the predator. At least now he would have a chance of seeing it coming for him. He could see his feet just below the surface, but he could see no further. He knew he had that length of time to react if the shark came at him, just a few feet. He tried to get as high as he could in the water. He needed to give himself the best chance possible of spotting the shark before it took a bite. In those terrifying moments when Mick was treading water, Hoping upon hope that the shark had finished with him, he felt alone. The event was called off, and Mick went back to his base to reflect on the events. He fired up the barbecue and sank a few beers with his mates. He and his friends celebrated his survival. For a while afterwards, Mick said that he still suffered from nightmares. He says that now when he enters the water, there is the fear of the unknown.